Hi, Joyce here. Today I wanted to do a video on how to manage an emotional intelligence specialist, or the nickname is EIS. Um, so like with any other profile, we look at what motivates them. They're motivated by beauty and love. They're motivated by helping others. Um, and so you don't see a ton of them in the workplace because that's not really what is valued, unfortunately, in the workplace. They're wonderful in the workplace, but they tend to be a bit frail, so you don't see them a lot. What you're going to see them in is kindergarten teachers or therapists, or where you really, what they're really good at is making the other person feel seen and heard. And so they just have this unlimited amount of emotion to be there for you. They're great listeners. So working with an EIS, you want to bring those things out of them. So if you have an EIS on your team, you want to make sure that they're able to acknowledge the beauty, see the beauty, make sure that they're working with people who they can help. Usually one-on-one, you're not going to see this person at the front of the room. You probably want to put them more in one-on-one relationships, like maybe an onboarding person or something in HR, something where they can use their compassion and their kindness and their caring to make someone else feel wanted and needed and supported. What they're not good at, or weak and destructive type behaviors, they tend to implode. So you could say something that just seems like the slightest criticism, and then they literally just implode. Anything that's aggressive, they're just not made for that. So no-nos would be, you never want to be aggressive with this kind of person, kind of like beating up a bunny, right? I mean, they're just these kinder, gentler souls. You don't want to put them in a situation where they have to be up the front of the room. You don't want to be calling them out on their emotions. You want to acknowledge that their emotions are their strength. So that's their gift to the world. So you don't want to, oh, stop being so emotional, toughen up. That's just going to push them further into their defense. So the best way is just to, just go a little slower. They slow the world down. They make the rest of your team smell the roses. They're awesome on a team, but they have a unique role, and you just have to treat them with a little bit more kid gloves. If blends, Again, I have had very few emotional intelligence specialists that have actually reported to me, but the ones that do have another secondary profile. So, for example, they may be an EIS with a knowledgeable achiever profile as their secondary, so that they can function more in the workforce, in a competitive workforce. That's what you tend to see them more. Pure EIS is, again, you're not going to see them so much in corporate America. As far as their workspace, you're going to see a lot of beauty. You may want to make sure that they sit near a window. Encourage that whole beauty. Allow them to bring that beauty into the workplace. It's actually really good for the rest of the team, but you have to acknowledge it and then make space for it. What if they're in the wrong role? There's a lot of roles that aren't going to be good for an emotional intelligence specialist. You can't have them, they're not going to be great at closing a deal. They're not going to be great at doing public speaking. That's just not their thing. So if you have an EIS in that kind of role, you really need to pair them with a knowledgeable achiever, pair them with a team player, so that, help them to function. Or break up their role so that they're focusing on the things where it's their strength, and you give the other pieces to somebody else, which I've had to do in the past. All right, so on the website, you'll see stories where we implement these different management type styles to specific situations. If you go on there and you don't see one that fits a scenario that you're going through, please write to us. What is bugging you most? What scenario is bugging you most? And so we can customize the content to fit your needs. And if it's something that I don't have experience with, I'll bring in one of my colleagues who uses these profiles in other other industries like medical or retail, etc. So let us know what you're struggling with, because we'd be glad to help.